What's up, traders? Andrew O'Connell here with Pristine Capital, coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is October 19th, 2021. Please go ahead, hit that like button on this video, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this content. Today we're going to talk about the price action in the indices. We're going to go under the hood, check out our sectors and style factors. We're going to take a look at some of the interesting dynamics behind today's rally in the market. Before we do that, quick risk disclaimer: nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan and your own risk parameters. Last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any one of my trades or anyone's trades for that matter. All right, let's dive into the video, team. Box scores for today: we had the S&P 500 as measured by the SPY closing up 0.77%, another really solid day. We had the NASDAQ QQQ finishing up 0.76%. We had the IWM small caps finishing up 0.37%. And we had the Dow Jones finishing up 0.56%. Taking a look at this volatility, we had a nice vol crush yet again in all of these indices. And then also, market breadth was very strong. We had most advancers in both the Qs and the Dow Jones tied at 77%. And then on the lower end, we had the small caps with 60% advancers. Taking a look at our heat map, you can see we had broad strength across the board in the S&P 500. We had some nice strength in the semiconductors group. We'll take a look at some of those names. We had nice strength in Apple, Facebook. Looks like Tesla took a bit of a break today after having a really nice sequence over the past few days. Financials came back to life. I am overweight the financials right now, so that is awesome. Then you can see even healthcare bounced back. So really nice day. And the way this market is rallying, it's like every group is kind of taking turns. Like it'll be like, okay, cyclicals today. Then, we have growth stocks the next day. I'm noticing broader participation in the rally. What I mean by that, when we flip to our sector sheet, solar energy stocks are now in our top momentum slot here. Solar stocks have had pretty horrible performances throughout the entirety of 2021. And it's interesting that now that we are at, essentially the back little piece of the year here, we only have, a month and a half or 2.5 months left. Now they are starting to perform. And that is a dynamic that happens sometimes into year end. Yeah, take a look at these solar stocks. They're now above the 200-day moving average, and they moved above the 200-day moving average on high relative volume. So yeah, looking very strong. And look at this, we've been stuck in a range, so we're basically at the top end of that range right now. So to be honest, it is too early to say if it's a fake out or not. If you bought every time the solar stocks, hit this level, every time, it's been disappointment in 2021. Could this time be a bit different? Absolutely. So definitely, a group to watch for sure. Let's flip back here. We'll take a look at some other areas of the market that are really leading us higher. KWEB, the Chinese technology names, I'm overweight in this group as well, up 4.23%. So looking really solid. And then I'm also, within this group, I have a trade on in Alibaba. MSOS cannabis names were up 5.66%. They were so oversold and they got a nice supercharged bounce today. But yeah, a lot of these laggards, are really coming to life. Some of the laggards for today's session, we had global autos, consumer discretionary, and transports, which have all been in pretty nice trends. Retail too. So today was a day where it's like what was strong was not so strong. And a lot of these weaker areas really came to life. Let's take a look at KWEB, and then we'll also look at the cannabis stocks. So KWEB, this to me looks just like a beautiful setup. We have this move above these key moving averages, then we consolidated for maybe a week, and I was pretty patiently just waiting in my KWEB trade. I actually diagonalized my calls while this sideways movement was happening. So I was able to take advantage of the sideways movement, actually collect some premium. My diagonal trade basically expired on options expiration week last week. So now I just have my naked calls. I no longer have that short leg. It expired October 15th. And now today we got the upside. We do have this version point of control up here at 57.24. So is this a good time to initiate a position in KWEB? You know, we just got a breakout of consolidation, and you can trade against this 52 spot 23 level. So to me, it looks like these Chinese internet names could really make a nice move to the upside. The last time they broke out of value, they did do that in September. And then I think the Evergrande situation happened, everyone sold out again. But look, this last time, KWEB wasn't able to get above the 50-day moving average. Now look at KWEB, it's well above the 50-day. So this is definitely a different configuration in terms of the technical setup. And yeah, my goal is for this to get to that 57 spot 24 level. My calls for KWEB, they go out until May of next year. This is such a theme where, like, I think these stocks, if investors start reallocating to China, there's going to be so much money that has to come back into this space. Look at this. So yeah, this is one I was like, I'm not going to like day trade this. I'm going to get some leaps for this position. And then let's talk about Alibaba. Ooh, Alibaba. Boom. So we're actually talking in the Pristine Capital trading community earlier today. This was in the pre-market session. You know, one of our members shared this really cool article on semiconductors and the semiconductor shortage. So I was thinking about semis today, and then all of a sudden I see an article pop up that said Alibaba was going to be building out basically their own semiconductor manufacturing facility. That way they can start producing semis and they can become basically, you know, independent of the United States. That's a huge business. That's a huge deal. This company was already significantly undervalued. I posted a really good Seeking Alpha article in our community on why this thing is just so darn undervalued. This is one of my top 3 biggest positions. If you're interested in joining the Pristine Capital trading community, we would love to have you. Our community is shaping up so nicely. I had a meeting with one of our members today, and we're just going through different data science projects that we're working on just to, you know, develop better edges. Really, that's the goal of the trading community. It's like, let's all get together. We're all retail traders, and we all have such a big advantage being retail traders. You have no idea. The speed advantage that you have over institutions is insane. And I know that because I used to work at, you know, Vanguard, which is the world's 2nd largest institution. I used to work as a senior analyst on their fixed income desk. So I know how it is on the institutional side. Trust me. They are not as fierce as you would think. I'll leave it at that. So as retail traders, we have a huge advantage. If we pool together, we pool our knowledge together, pool our resources together, that gets more powerful. So I highly encourage you, if you are like about this investing and trading life, definitely consider signing up. Definitely reach out to me. I would love to have you in the group. But anyway, back to KWEB. So yeah, this is looking really good. And then yeah, Alibaba, you know, we'll see. We have a VPOC up here at this 179 spot 26 level. So that could be a good area to take an initial target. Now let's take a look at the MSOS. MSOS up 5.66%. And I actually attempted a day trade in GTBIF, which is one of my favorite names in this group. I am so darn bullish on cannabis for the long term. This is going to make for an amazing investment opportunity buying these down here. Eventually cannabis is going to be legalized unless, you know, we just stay in the dinosaur age. So yeah, you know, these names, they're producing such amazing cash flows. It's unreal. Like, look at GTVIF. You know, I just have to bring this up because it's phenomenal. So the price action, absolutely horrible because everyone thought our administration was going to legalize cannabis. Then they just totally did not. But look at this. The earnings turned positive last year. So they're positive on earnings. They're positive on their sales. Look at their sales growth. It's phenomenal. And then, you know, their cash flow that they generate from their business is also phenomenal. So yeah, this group, once it starts going, it's probably going to be kicked off by legislation. To me, as of right now for this group, this could really just be like, you know, some algo or some big fund, you know, decided, hey, you know, these names hit my threshold for just being super oversold, super undervalued. Let me just buy a little bit of these cannabis stocks, to be perfectly honest. Like, there's not really, this is just day one, and one day doesn't make a trend. So you'll see, like, I actually tried, it was literally like just for fun. I was having a pretty good day today. So I was like, yeah, I'll take a shot at GTBIF. So I took a starter position in my trading account for 24.33. You know, I put 1 star on this. That means it's a small position. And I said I already own a bunch of this name in an IRA that I will never sell from 14 bucks. So I was a pretty early investor in a lot of these United States multi-state operators. So I literally invested in GTBIF all the way back here. I got in before this big movement. So I was coming into GTBIF like literally all the way down here. And this is MSOS. GTBIF is over here. Yeah, I was like, why is that not 14? Like literally down here, I was investing in this company and I still have a position. Then I got super active, you know, trading these names as well when they went on like their super uptrend. So I no longer own the cannabis names as like a trade, but I still hold on to this GTBIF. I also own this TCNNF. This is TrueLeave. This is another one, just a phenomenal company, but it's just, you know, incredibly in the dumps. Like, it's kind of embarrassing if you're a cannabis investor, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I own that one. I own a few others as well, just in smaller sizes. But yeah, cannabis in terms of a trade, which is, you know, what I'm working on right now. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe throughout the end of the year, we get more of this rally in the laggards. Style factors. Let's take a look. Style factors, we had the quality style factor up 0.86%. We had min vol up 0.8%. And those were our 2 leaders. So it's not the most risk-on configuration when min vol and quality are leading. And then we also had international momentum, which would be those Chinese and emerging markets names. Laggards, we had cyclicals only up 0.14%. And we had momentum up 0.49%. And yeah, with this Delta Plus variant, so we'll talk about some of my trades for today. Let's actually go, before we do that, let's just touch on our indices and just see where they are real quick. S&P 500. S&P, we got a really nice breakout from this monthly value area today. You know, we had some questions today in our group of like, you know, when is the appropriate time to start shorting the market again? And to me, when we have this really nice seasonality, my trend model is at a +3. You know, this is a fresh breakout. To me, it's not really that time. If you want to scalp, we are really extended from this 5-day EMA, and we're extended from the 20-day moving average also. You know, you could certainly scalp to the short side. You know, maybe we get a retest of this monthly value area high. But yeah, it's tough for me to be in that like short mindset when I see this price action. You know, if my trend model changes, then that's where I'll change and I'll have a much different point of view. But there is, even when my trend model is at a +3, there is a way that I prefer to hedge my positions. That's a little bit too much for this market recap video, but we'll talk about that another time. But ES, really nice move. Is it overbought at this moment? Yeah, it definitely is. So like we already hit on the hourly chart our upside target for the week. So yeah, definitely overbought. I'm not expecting this thing to just like rip into the end of the week or anything like that. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ, also a nice move. We have our bullish 80% rule. So could we tag the opposite side of value? Potentially. Let's see what happens. This one's kind of in no man's land. Let's take a look at the Russell. Russell closed above this monthly value area high, team. So we broke through this downward trend line. We broke above this monthly value area. And the seasonality for small caps turns in November. I'm going to point this out just because I think this is like, you know, it's pretty important. And there's just so much to talk about in this video. We're not going to get to all of it, but last year, so let's go to the weekly chart. Yes, this is our weekly chart of the Russell. And look at where we started our really nice run that got us to this like year-long consolidation period. We started it on the week of November 2nd. For small caps, November is the strongest seasonal month. And right now, it's not really obvious to most investors and traders, but we are beginning to come out of this consolidation zone. So I'm expecting a breakout in November. That's my baseline assumption, but of course we'll have to see how the price action plays out. Yeah, right now the small caps, they're pretty coiled. They're not really too extended from this monthly value area. Riding the 5-day EMA right now. I think one of these days we're just going to get a really nice ignite bar to the upside. And then we have our Dow Jones. Dow Jones looking really good. This one, the banks are a big proportion of the Dow Jones, and a lot of these cyclical names. Banks have been doing really well. Dow Jones is doing very well. This one's actually further along in its sequence than the small caps and the S&P 500 in terms of this move out of the monthly value area. Let's take a look. We'll look at a couple things. So, with regard to when can I short the market, I don't really think now is the time to short the market, but we are seeing some interesting signals. So these 10-year treasuries, they're not exactly breaking down, but it looks like we're still seeing distribution here. I mean, we even tried to rally to this 5-day EMA, and look what happened. This is that's bearish price action. If these 10-year treasury yields start breaking down, that could be a bad catalyst for the market for sure. What's that really going to impact? Some of these stocks that are trading at 100 times sales, these high growth valuation names. Net, Cloudflare, I'm in my short saga on Net. It's the only short that I have on right now, and it's a very small position as well. It's not really like a big trade. But for some reason, I really want to win this one because this name really just went parabolic in the face of rising interest rates. Literally, as of the close yesterday, it was trading at like 104 times sales. And if rates go up, this stock should in theory get pummeled. I don't even know what happened. The stock just went up in a straight line on no news. To me, that's very suspect. But yeah, now even after today's negative 4% day, we're at 100 times sales. Now, people always say don't short a stock in an uptrend, but there is definitely a method for shorting parabolic stocks. Make no mistake about it. For a parabolic stock, once the parabola breaks, that presents a nice short opportunity. That doesn't mean you YOLO your entire account, because then if you lose, then you get messed up. And that's what most people do. They go, I'm shorting this thing. And they short it right here on the breakout. And it's I'm shorting more, shorting more, shorting more. Oh my gosh, now my entire account's in this trade. I'm losing even more. And then here's they cover all their shorts. And then we just get this crazy up candle. Typically, once you get that big extended range candle at the end of the move, that's when a lot of times the move is done. And I'll just pull up another example of a parabolic stock to show you. Moderna. This had a parabolic run right over here in July. Look what happened to Moderna. It was oh my gosh, this stock is just never going to go down. It hit that parabolic sequence, consolidated sideways for 2 days, and it had this big green candle on high volume. And that was literally the end of it. Then we had this reversal candle over here, followed by, just a huge red candle the following day. Net, not going to say that it'll play out the same exact way, but it's probably going to play out the same exact way. What makes it a little different is this company has earnings coming up, so that could make things a little bit different than something like Moderna. But look at this. So we got the reversal day here where we opened on the highs. That's the key. We opened on the highs. This name was sold throughout the entire session. And look at the volume. We had selling on higher volume than any of these rally days. So to me, that's saying, hey, the jig is up. Look how far away we are from the 20-day. Right now I have my short call spread on this name. I have the 170 by 180 call spread that I am short. So we'll see what happens with Net. So yeah, I think this one, to be honest, I shorted it, I think on this day. I think I shorted it on the 14th. And we had 2 more days of upside. When I saw this candle come out, I was like, this was the day to short. Hindsight's 2020, but to be honest, for these kinds of setups, it's probably better to wait for that first red reversal day and then initiate a short. So I do think if you're skilled, this is shorting parabolas, that's not a newbie trade. I wouldn't recommend it because I think there's just too many things you can get wrong. But I think this is a pretty textbook short parabola setup. So that is net. And then real quick, this is going to be like a freaking, oh yeah, we'll have to, okay, we're not doing too bad on time. Booking. Let's talk about this one. So yesterday I closed this out, talked about it on the recap video. And I was like, you know what? You know, with this Delta Plus variant, it's just not even worth it. I was playing for a breakout. I'm not going to just sit in this thing until the travel names start collapsing. Let me just move on to greener pastures. And then sure enough, we did get, you know, our reversal. You know, it's a shame for anybody that was long for this breakout. Because look at this. We had the 2 green candles. This really looked like it was going to break out. Closed on the highs. But then we got new news. Things changed. We got this Delta Plus variant, bad coronavirus news. So that's why, like, it is important when you're trading. Just because you have an edge doesn't mean you're going to win the trade. So that's a huge thing. Sometimes people go like, oh, like those signals, they don't even matter. It's not like you're going to win the trade. Or like, you know, I followed a signal and I lost the trade. It's really a lot of it is like the nuances. Like, your signal hits, the trade looks great, you're licking your chops ready for the breakout, but then new information comes out. You have to be able to adjust your bias. So yeah, I'm glad I closed out of this one because, you know, maybe now you want to get long at the 20-day, who knows, then stop out below the 20-day or something like that. But yeah, this travel group is really tough to trade given this coronavirus that just keeps evolving. But yeah, those are the only trades I wanted to talk about. And then today I also took an attempt at Crocs. I got long at 1021. Again, a small starter position. Today I was not really like trying to add too many positions. I had a couple stocks I was watching, but if I'm watching them and like I don't hit them immediately, I try to just like back off. So I was like, I'll do a starter position in Crocs. And Crocs, I stopped out of it, you know, shortly after. I just saw like it was kind of weak. There were other stocks that were really ripping to the upside. Crocs was not. And I was like, I'll stop out of this thing for, you know, a very small paper cut loss. And I just had no time for laggards. And let's see how Crocs closed out. I wouldn't be surprised if this one just like ripped to the upside. Yeah, and it closed down 0.52%. Couldn't close inside of this monthly value area. So that to me is like, you know, not even worth it to keep that on the books. Yeah, so those are my trades for today. I wasn't too active. I was really just watching the trades that I had on. Oh my gosh, this will be the last thing that we talk about. We won't go through the options flow today, or if anything, we'll do it super quick because we have something very important to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. So, Bitcoin, dun dun dun, digital pet rocks. Let's go. Let's take a look at our digital pet rocks. Nice, and Ethereum's up too now. Bitcoin. Earlier in the day, my game plan, went over this in the pre-market, was, hey, if we get another dip below 60K, I'm already incredibly overweight to cryptocurrency. But I was like, you know what, I'm going to add even more to my position. But now you can see we're trading right at the all-time highs, team. So definitely, you know, if you're in this as well, I'm sure a lot of people are, you know, just congrats for holding on to this asset. It was not easy when we had this crash. It's not easy when we had this weak month over here, but if you were in it, that is awesome. I think, you know, once we hit this all-time high and once we break through it, that's when everyone has their like, oh, boop moment where they're like, I have no exposure to cryptocurrency. And that's when they're forced to FOMO in at 70K. So I posted yesterday, you know, there's gonna be more buyers at 70K than there are at 60K, trust me. Or less sellers, excuse me. So yeah, that's looking good. Another thing I just wanted to bring up for anyone watching this video, the GBTC ETF, or it's not an ETF, it's a trust, excuse me. So this thing, one of the founders put out a tweet. I retweeted it, and basically he said, you know, we filed with the SEC to convert our trust into an ETF, and it's right here. Oh yeah, quickly, I'm going to be appearing on this Twitter Spaces at 8 o'clock. Feel free, go ahead, log on for that. You know, there's going to be a bunch of good speakers. Definitely check it out. If you're enjoying this video, enjoying this content, please click that like button. But here's the thread. And basically, this is a guy that works at Grayscale. I should probably follow this guy. Oh, I am following him. Good. And these guys were like the pioneer of this Bitcoin trust. Like, these guys are probably filthy rich off that. Like, that took a lot of guts. But yeah, they filed Form 19B4 with the SEC to convert the Grayscale Bitcoin trust into a Bitcoin spot ETF. And what is so cool about this is I own a lot of GBTC. So this is directly applicable to me. One of the concerns was, like, now these Bitcoin futures ETFs are going to be approved. Now there might not be a place for this Grayscale trust, and we might have an exodus from the trust. This is like the assurance. Granted, it hasn't been approved, but you know, if it does get approved, that's a great thing. And what I'm looking at here is, this is our check it out. Bam, bam, bam. Crypto news, crypto analysis. So this is our Discord channel over here, and this is just the server, you know, all the different channels on it. And this here just shows us the discount or premium to NAV for GBTC. And right now it's trading at a 20% discount. If investors start to believe that this is going to be approved, that it is going to convert into an ETF, what's going to happen to this discount? It's going to go away, and it's going to start trading at NAV. So I think this GBTC, if you think that it's going to be approved, which is a speculation, it could get denied. I would find it really weird. The SEC would have to be evil to do that. Like, these guys are literally the pioneers in the industry, and you're not going to approve their ETF, but you would approve other people's ETFs. Maybe it's a political thing, I don't know. But to be honest, like, my bias is it's probably going to get approved. There's basically like a 20% gain built into this, so I think that's interesting. Take that for what it's worth, but that has me super excited. I was like, I have to mention that. It's huge. Now let's take a look before we wrap. Let's take a look real quick at our VicTech options races. Dun dun dun. Look at today's combined flows. Just take a look at what was appearing on here the most. If you're interested in signing up for VicTech, use my link in the video. This thing is so cheap for what it's doing for you. It's only $50 a month. I can't believe it. It has the options order flow. It has all this good stuff in it. Use my code. You'll get $10 off of that per month. Tesla, you can see this flow over here. Coinbase is actually catching a lot of flow. So we have Coinbase, let's check that out, and Alibaba, Alibaba and AMD is a name I'm watching too. So let's take a look at all three of these. Coinbase, Baba, AMD. And we're gonna do it in record time. Boom. Tradescape. Here we go. ArcG, what the heck's going on here? Looks like two big orders. No big deal. All right, ArcG, let's take a look. This is NDX. What am I doing with my life? Hilton. Oh, some calls going up in Hilton. We have Moderna, Melly, DNA. Ooh, CCJ. Whoa, Cameco calls. What's up? What is up? Wow. 25 strikes, 32 strikes, 28 strikes. Oh my gosh. Sorry, I gotta take a detour. Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna keep that in my back pocket. I see. Goldman Sachs. And where the heck are these? I'm like an idiot. Baba. Okay, so a lot of calls going up for Alibaba. For so long, investors were just buying puts on this name. Yeah, going out to 2023, 220 strikes, 200 strikes. Yeah, they're buying some leaps in here. Some short-term stuff too. This is for the 22nd. Yeah, January 2022. Yeah, they're going deep, team. So yeah, Alibaba looks awesome. Alibaba. And then Coinbase. I don't know if I'm even going to find that. Coinbase, I kind of hate that stock. I just think they make most of their money on trading commissions, and I just know there's going to be a fee war. Those commissions are probably going to go away. If they start expanding to other things, that's where they could end up being a good investment. Or you know, if they get acquired by, say, like a traditional bank or something like that, you know, that could make for a good investment. Let's just take a look at the chart for Coinbase. Yeah, chart looks good, but keep in mind this is a laggard, so it's nothing like HUT. This is a mining company where this is literally trading right up at the all-time highs. Yeah, for me, it's like, why would you get involved in the laggard? You know, I mean, it has had a nice little catch-up move, but that's just me personally. But yeah, everyone's different. If you were in this one, you know, congrats, because you had a really nice sequence. And then AMD. Where is AMD? I must find AMD. Okay, I was hunting and pecking for AMD so long, I finally found it. And I'm just going to edit that part out because that was painfully long. I felt like a boomer there. Okay, AMD, ooh, out to 2024. The 115 strikes. 110 strikes in November. 105 strikes in November. Ooh, December 115. I like this. Something about AMD, I'm feeling it. Oh, no, not feeling it, but the AMD, I like the chart. Looks really good. I like how it's right up to these prior swing highs, and today, you know, they couldn't really auction it lower. AMD looks pretty solid. But with that being said, that about does it for this market recap video. Hope you all have an awesome evening. Click the like button, subscribe. I'm trying to get to 300 subscribers. Let's do it.